with that, it might be getting in the way of a picture. Cheers. Welcome to another Jecks interview. I think interview is the best word. Another Jecks interview about Jecks books. And this time we've got up to 13, 14, 15, 16, book 17 I think it is in the series. Tolls of Death. Only ever had the one cover, so that's exciting. It's now having a new cover redesigned for it, so very soon when you look it up on Amazon or anywhere else you'll find that there's a totally different cover. This one I really enjoyed. This is a book that I wrote quite some years ago, and it was the very first time my daughter came to help me do some research into any of my books. I discovered that there was a little church in a place called Cardinham, and just up from there there's a chapel at a little place called Temple, which really has very little there now apart from this small chapel. And I went there in the summer some years ago with my daughter to discover that it was as wet in Bodmin Moor as it ever has been in Dartmoor. And the little church there has a visitor's book, and it was almost completely empty, which is fine. You don't expect little out of the way places like that to have too many visitors. And the trouble with poor old Temple is that it's on the main road towards Bodmin in the middle of the moor, so no one ever stops there because it's a dreadful place to try to get back to the main road if you ever do get off it. Still, so I went down there with my daughter, wandered around, took lots of photos, got a feel for the moorland around that area and also for this nice old chapel. And then on the way back I thought, yep, that's a perfect location, I'll write a book about it. So I had this location as the site that Baldwin and Simon went to on their way back from the Isles of Ennor, the Scilly Isles. The summer of 1323 this was, and a young woman's mother was discovered hanged alongside the dead bodies of her children. So sad little story. It begins very sadly. Simon and Baldwin are coming through on their way back, as I say, and they are getting involved in discovering who was the murderer, who was responsible. Really good fun story. What was really nice about it, though, as far as I'm concerned, is the fact that when I went back there some years later, the little visitor's book is now full, and it's got lots of comments from people who only went there, they said, because they read this book, which is really rather sweet. It shows that the book stayed in their memory for quite some time. So, Tolls of Death soon have a new cover. It's an excellent read, I think. It's one of the less humorous ones. It's a little bit more dark, but it doesn't suffer from that. It's a very good story that rattles along at quite some speed. So if you like crime books, you like history books, this is a good one for you. And having said that, I think it's time I went back to my whiskey. Very good whiskey, cheers. Because otherwise my throat will get dry. And thanks for watching this. If you've got any interest, you can subscribe with the button below. If you've got any questions, throw a comment in at the bottom here. Do please share it, do subscribe, tell all your friends about it and all those other good things that you'd expect to do, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers!